Hey, what's up you guys, Loco here. I hope you guys are doing all okay with the quarantine. It's actually been insane what we're going through. I don't think I've lived through something quite strange as this, something quite like life altering. We are literally living through history right now. Like what we're going through will be in the history books. But luckily for us, LCS is back and it's being played online. I have a lot of thoughts about it being played online. I know initially what they were going to do was send the teams to like a remote facility and have just the essential staff there and have it played that way. But yeah, once the LA lockdown was announced, I guess the only way they could have this was players playing from their own homes, like casters casting from their own houses, producers producing it from their own places. It is insane that they're actually able to still put the product through. So I'm back with the local recaps. For you today, I have Golden Guardians versus TSM. I always like to start the week with the TSM VOD recaps, so let's get started. So we're on patch 10.5. Ornn took some nerfs, Aphelios took some nerfs, just some things to keep in mind. Let's start with the red side bans. Pantheon, Sett, Senna. I think Sett is pretty self-explanatory. He is still one of the most OP champions in the game, especially with the other OPs nerfed. He stands out as a must-ban champion on red side. Senna still existing as fasting Senna, her being able to get a lot of the souls early game by not last hitting minions makes her really strong going into mid game, also helps whatever support she's laning with. Teams have been doing it with a lot of different supports, Rumble, Tahm Kench. It just makes those supports a lot stronger because they're able to get the gold early on top of the Senna scaling. So yeah, pretty easy ban there. Pantheon, that one's a little interesting. I know we've seen a lot of mid lane Pantheon, but jungle Pantheon's extremely popular in Europe. And I also gave jungle Pantheon a try in solo queue to see how he feels. He's actually really strong in terms of ganks. His clear speed is actually really fast due to his Q being AoE and being able to come back up so quickly. So yeah, he's an early pressure jungle that has very strong ganks. And also the scaling on Pantheon is a lot better than what it used to be pre-rework. So he's a flex pick that's strong in the jungle, strong in mid lane as a counter pick to any kind of melee champions. Also a pretty self-explanatory ban once we consider all the context. Now let's get on with TSM's bans. I think they're mostly just target bans. The Kalista, Yuumi definitely target bans towards FBI and Huhi. As for Tahm Kench, it's probably a pick that TSM just doesn't like playing versus that much, so they banned it. Now when we get into the draft portion, I love what TSM's doing with the first pick Syndra. When a lot of these OP champions are banned, there's actually not much to take from blue side. And Syndra is a really good champion for Bjergsen. We've seen him carry on him multiple times, and also her matchups are actually really good. The two picks that people tend to use versus Syndra the most are Echo and LeBlanc, where LeBlanc is a skill matchup and is very dependent on how the jungle mid lane 2v2 goes. As for the Echo, it's a matchup where you can have kill potential on Syndra if she messes up, but a lot of times, especially in the early game, you're going to be pushed in, and yeah, you're just trying to clear the way much as possible, just get that first good recall in and TP back from the Echo. So yeah, a really good first pick considering it's TSM and considering that the majority of the OPs have been banned out. The other pick that stands out to me from TSM is Aphelios. I don't really like it, to be honest. It's in reply to Varus and it's the nerfed Aphelios. The go-to champion versus Varus has been Ezreal. Also, TSM has had a very strong identity around being a top-side team. So yeah, if you're going to be playing weak side from bot lane and the enemy has Varus, I think Ezreal is the most obvious answer, so really did not like the Aphelios pick here. When we talk about the Golden Guardians draft, they're protecting the J4 pick with the Rek'Sai ban, with the Lee Sin ban, and opening with Rumble on 4. It allows them to connect Jarvan and Rumble together, a very classic, a very teamfight focused duo. Jarvan ults, gets in there, Rumble uses the ult on top of the Jarvan ult, and they're able to kill the squishy targets. TSM showed 2 immobile carries in Syndra and Aphelios, so the Rumble pick makes a lot of sense. And also there's a bonus of Rumble being a flex pick, so yeah, they can save the last solo lane pick until 5th pick and finalize where the Rumble goes once they lock that 5th pick in. And they decided to go with Kennen. Kennen is a lane counter to Aatrox, but it's a lane counter that's very fragile. If Kennen starts to fall behind, it can get useless really quickly. You have to win lane, you have to never get ganked, and you have to make sure you're isolated in side lanes. We're probably going to see maybe AD Kennen. He does have a Varus on his team, he does have a Rumble on his team. It can be more of a classic AP Kennen. If that is the case, then the draft will be very much teamfight oriented for Golden Guardians. They have the Rumble there, they have the J4 there, they have the Kennen there. So yeah, that was the overview on kind of the picks. Now let's talk about the team comps in entirety. When we look at both drafts as a whole, both teams are extremely focused on team fighting. The Rumble, J4, Kennen are monsters in teamfight. Same thing for TSM, Sejuani, Syndra, Aphelios, really good teamfight champions. Aatrox also a great flanker. There is a little bit of split push flavor in both teams' draft with the Kennen, with the Aatrox. Depending on what build Kennen goes, he can be a full-on split pusher, or he can be a semi-team fighter, or a full-on team fighter, so we're really going to have to look closely at his items. And also the lane matchup versus Kennen and Aatrox is going to be a really big breaking point. If Kennen is able to get ahead and stay ahead early, it's going to force TSM on a timer where Kennen's in a side lane, Aatrox can't match him one-on-one, and they always have to either send one more member or be starting team fights first to pull the Kennen. But on the other hand, if the Aatrox dominates Kennen in the early game, or the Kennen isn't able to get ahead enough, there's going to come a point once Aatrox gets 2 items where the Kennen is always in a position to be dope and he has to be extremely careful. And yeah, the 2 top laners are really going to have a lot of control regarding who's going to be able to split push, who's going to be able to flank. With that in mind, let's get started with the gameplay. Alright, the first play I have for you is this mid control thing. Golden Glue wants to get top lane fast as possible so he can do this dive with Closer, and he's trying to push the wave in. And he's getting greedy for the last 2 range creeps, and he's forced to burn flash when Bjergsen and Dardoch walk up to threaten him. This is actually going to play a really crucial part in this dive, Golden Glue not having flash. So you can see 3 members of Golden Guardians closing in on Broken Blade. Let's talk about this dive. So the most important thing for the dive is to get it off cleanly as possible. You want the right person to tank. You want to get your damage off fast as possible, either kill the person or chunk them out enough where they can't stay under the wave. The most ideal dive situation is landing the CC first, so either Haunter or Closer starting out with the J4 EQ or the Kennen combo would be most ideal. As for Broken Blade, he wants to try to start damaging Golden Guardians members before they start the dive. Because let's say Golden Glue hits Broken Blade before Closer or Haunter does, and he starts tanking aggro, then he can't stay in there for the dive, and it turns into a 2v1 dive instead of 3v1 dive. So yeah, let's see how this plays. Broken Blade starting on Closer, so Closer forced to EQ, Broken Blade flashing the EQ, and now this dive really is impossible. Golden Glue doesn't have flash. The heal doesn't matter, Broken Blade styling on them. It was just really well played from Broken Blade to go on Closer right away, and now Haunter gonna get stunned up here. Oh, actually doesn't get stunned up, but forced to burn the flash. Yeah, miserable dive, and this is such a good situation for TSM. The Aatrox isn't gonna fall behind, the Rumble actually fell behind, Kennen forced to burn his flash. There were 4 summoners used just for Broken Blade's 1 summoner, and he also got to even up on CS also. A disastrous situation for Golden Guardians, and this is going to mean the Kennen's never really going to be able to build a lead on Aatrox for the rest of the game. So we have another bad wave control situation for Golden Glue. We can see Broken Blade roaming as Golden Glue's waves pushing out. Bjergsen going to start with QW, going to miss, Broken Blade able to connect the Q and the W, and it's going to be an easy kill for TSM. Now the wave is still pushing away from Golden Glue, Bjergsen can push it, he can freeze it, he can do whatever the hell he wants. This Rumble pick is just not working out. It's a Predator Rumble with celerity and water walking, I'd imagine, so it's a pick that's really dependent on being able to clear the wave really quickly and roam around the map. But due to what happened top lane, he's never going to be able to freely push out, so yeah, he's not even going to be able to do his job and do really what the pick was for. TSM continuing to be proactive, and now you can see Broken Blade has the wave pushed in on Haunter, and Bjergsen's here. They're going to be able to look for a dive. Starting with Broken Blade's ult. Bjergsen starting with, oh my god, QWRE. That was a clean kill. Yeah, just nothing really Haunter can do. His wave is pushed in, he doesn't have his jungler or mid lane there, and you can also see Dardoch in mid lane covering for Bjergsen. Really good cover, make sure no one's actually dropping the CS. This is what happens when you get people ahead and when you're able to play cohesively as a team. Huhi was able to sneak in a recall, and Golden Guardians feel strong enough or desperate enough to start this Herald. Let's see how it plays out. We can see everyone on TSM except for the Aphelios getting to this Herald fast as possible. Bjergsen and Broken Blade here early. Golden Guardians not able to do damage on Herald, they have to watch out. Oh man, a lot of things going on, so I want to pause and talk about it. You can see Bjergsen walked up, look for a stun on Haunter, but he actually missed his EQ. So he leaves an opening for Haunter and for Closer to go in. It's really hard for the Jarvan to go in before Syndra uses her stun because his EQ can be cancelled anytime, especially on a low ping environment like LCS. Bjergsen should be able to cancel it. But now that he has his opening, he's looking for it. But Broken Blade is a smurf. He's able to land the first part of Aatrox's Q knockup, and he's able to cancel out J4's EQ. And you can see Golden Glue is also looking for ult here. Let's see how it's going to play. Golden Glue looks for the ult, It does connect, but because J4 isn't able to get onto top of his flag and use ultimate on top of Bjergsen, Bjergsen's going to be completely safe. Now they don't have Rumble ult. Bjergsen's going to take some damage from Rumble, but not really, and it's a really favorable situation for TSM. J4 EQ on cooldown, Rumble ult on cooldown. The only thing they really have left is Kennen flash ult, but it's just really difficult to Kennen to go in by himself, and you can also see Dardoch joning out Huhi. Just everyone's doing their job perfectly. But yeah, major props to Broken Blade breaking that Jarvan EQ combo. This is what's really saving TSM here. Now Broken Blade's able to turn, uses his ultimate, as I talked about, a lot of things on cooldown for Golden Guardians, and TSM actually able to take the Herald themselves. I think this was really doable for Golden Guardians. Depending on how they were able to get on top of Bjerg, this fight could have changed completely, but yeah, once again, Broken Blade smurfing. Bjergsen and Broken Blade both have priority in their own lanes, and you can see Bjergsen moving up to look for the dive on his old teammate. He's using Q on the ground in case he wants to use R at any point, and he has the most balls possible to get the maximum amount of damage. Dardoch also coming in. Bjergsen cutting off Haunter's escape. Misses the W, hits the Q. Now going for R. Q? That was actually really weird from Bjergsen. So there's this combo for Syndra called the no skill combo. You do QRE and then you can WQ. By doing QRE, you leave so much balls on the ground and it makes it near impossible to dodge the stun. I'm just not sure why Bjergsen delayed using the stun after he got the R off on Haunter. He could have easily gotten the kill. But anyways, Haunter burn flash, TSM able to get the top lane turret, and yeah, the situation getting worse and worse for Golden Guardians. So I don't think TSM's bot lane got enough flack for how badly they played this game. They have one job, which is to just breathe and don't get opened on. Top lane is dominating. But you can see Bio gonna get hooked here, then rooted, pretty much insta-bursted. Yeah, he burns flash, but gonna get hit by the Varus Q. And a lot of people are gonna give me some criticism for flaming Bio, but here's the reality of the situation. Golden Guardians got a free pick, and then they messed up afterwards. I don't know why, but Closer EQ'd to try to get into turret range and finish the kill on Kabe or something. It's just so stupid. He doesn't need to do that at all. And Haunter's also going to decide to not match the teleport here. If Closer doesn't do this in play and he's just helping FBI and Huhi get out of the situation and Haunter's matching the teleport, this is a free dragon for Golden Guardians in a situation where TSM should be dominating. Biofrost made a mistake, but luckily for him, Golden Guardians are just going to make a mistake right back. You can see Dardoch went on Closer forced to burn his flash. Huhi got insta-popped by the Aatrox because Kennen didn't TP, try to defend with him. And a lot of members on Golden Guardians ending up burning their own flashes. Varus, the Rumble. This was a bad situation that got turned into a good one because TSM was so ahead, and also Broken Blade reacted really quickly. The situation where Biofrost is getting opened on, Bjergsen's not nearby, Aatrox is not nearby, they have Dragon coming up, he has no reason to walk up there. It was the world's most obvious bot lane play. We're gonna get another oopsie from TSM's bot lane. We have TSM's top side just crushing, they're on second tier turret, but Kabe's gonna get a little overzealous here, walk up, try to clear the wave with Infernum auto and Q, and gonna get insta-gib. I know he has a Thresh Lantern, but he has no business walking up there when the rest of the map is being so dominant. And Golden Glue gonna get caught out and die. It's just so frustrating to watch TSM make mistakes like this when it can be a really clean game if they understand, hey, we have nothing to gain on bot side, we're crushing the top side of the map, let's not get overzealous, let's not try to clear the wave, let's just do our job, but they have to walk up and give up that free kill. I want you guys to focus on the minimap here. There's missing pings going on where Aatrox can be, and Golden Guardians are still gonna walk up and try to push this wave out. It is mind-blowing how it's communicated that the Aatrox is coming down, and they're still trying to push, and they're gonna end up dying. If the hook lands there, then FBI potentially dies also. Luckily for him, he has cleanse, so I think he will be safe, but yeah, Golden Guardians just giving an opportunity to TSM when they don't have to. They have to play safe when Aatrox is coming down for a flank. It is one of the most obvious plays that they can make, but they fell for it anyways. TSM gonna pick up free Herald from it, and let's progress with the game. We're gonna get more god-awful decision making from Golden Guardians. Let's look at the items. Rumble has a Merc and a Haunting Guise. The Jarvan is full tank, Kennen has Hextech Gunblade, and Varus is building lethality and he's at 1.5 items. They cannot fight TSM at this point. They can't even walk in here. They have 0 vision. They should not be grouped up for this dragon. The Kennen should be staying up top side. The Rumble should be pushing out bot lane. It's just so frustrating to me to watch Golden Guardians try to like clump when they have nothing to get done by clumping. You can't win the team fight. Spread out. Make sure TSM is paying for grouping up for this dragon. But they're going to get pretty much nothing because they grouped up for no goddamn reason when they can't take the team fight. I understand that you drafted a team fight comp, but there's certain parts of the game where you just have to give up dragons because you messed up so much in the early game. And I think they have a way better shot at coming back if they're spread out, farming the waves instead of grouping up for a team fight that they can't challenge. We have TSM playing for both mid and bot side. They're going to be able to get this tier 2 on bot lane pretty easily. Now Bjergsen and rest of the crew rotating to mid side. Bjergsen dropping as much balls as possible for the Syndra ult. He's going to look for the QE here. It doesn't hit. And for some reason Dardoch goes in with the QR. And now Broken Blade caught in a really awkward situation. He got chain CC'd so hard there. And it looks really weird and it seems like he died to the Liandry damage. But what actually happened was he took a huge amount of burst damage and he got chain CC'd. And Death's Dance allows you to mitigate the damage that you're taking by taking the burst damage that you took and turning it into damage over time. So yeah, he's not dying to the Liandry damage, but he's actually dying to the damage over time from Death's Dance that he was mitigating. Just really terrible coordination from TSM there. I have no idea why Dardoch looked for QR after Bjergsen missed his QE. They should just back up, wait for the Syndra stun again, and then they could have gone in. But nonetheless, TSM still ahead, just a really big mishap that forces them to lose a lot of tempo. One thing that TSM did get done on the last push was they were able to drop a lot of wards in the Golden Guardians jungle. So we have Broken Blade looking for a flank play here on Golden Glue. Looks like he probably wasn't even needed. They were going to get the kill anyways. And now they have a lot of space. They have Dragon coming up in 55 seconds. It's a soul point dragon, so really crucial for Golden Guardians that they fight this and they don't give it over to TSM for free. They're not left with a lot of options though. TSM's going to have complete control on bot side, and yeah, it's going to be really hard for Golden Guardians to check in here. So Golden Guardians weren't able to contest for the Cloud Soul. Luckily for them, it's Cloud Soul, it's not a game-breaking buff. If it's stuff like Ocean Soul or Inferno Soul, it would have been mega tragic for them. But they're going to walk up and try to get this blue buff instead. And it's really going to show you how far behind they are. We can see Bjergsen landing a beautiful 3-man stun and also Dardoch getting in here. What I want you guys to really focus on is how long it takes them to kill the Sejuani. Dardoch has Aftershock up, he has his passive up, he is incredibly tanky, but also Golden Guardians are so far behind in terms of their items and they just really don't have a shot in teamfight. We can see them full CC Dardoch, use every single spell they have, all the autos, and they're barely able to kill him while the rest of TSM comes in and cleans up. Imagine a full fight where the whole time Dardoch is tanking, we have other people doing damage. The game is realistically over. They can't win team fights, they just don't have the damage. Maybe if they get like a brilliant pick on Bjergsen or Kabe, that's like their only shot. And also Haunter isn't able to split push on the Aatrox. They just have no win conditions left, and the only thing that they're playing for is TSM making a mistake from this point. So TSM has a lot of control on the game, and also Kabe finally has Chakram and Severum together. These are the best 2 weapons in terms of melting down Baron, and TSM's going to start up Baron with Sejuani and Aphelios doing it as a duo. They're pushing out mid side, they're trying to get control, they're making it so difficult for Golden Guardians. I mean, the game situation's already so screwed. They go on Broken Blade, but instead of Broken Blade running, he's just going to turn around and go on Golden Glue instead, able to get the kill in like a 2v1, 3v1 situation. And TSM gets off of Baron, goes for Closer instead. I think they could have just stayed on Baron the whole time. After Broken Blade finished that situation, rest of the team can turn around and go help out with Baron. But yeah, still pretty much going to be free. They killed the Rumble, they killed the Nautilus. Now all they have to do is find the J4 and this Baron's free. Kabe still has Chakram, but he can't build as much stacks because he's doing it with Calibrum, not Severum. Ooh, Closer. So Dardoch had to burn Smite because he was really low and he had to get the HP back. Biofrost's gonna find Closer and kill him for the rest of the team. TSM using the Baron to get the top side turret, now rotating down from mid. Let's see what they do. Dardoch looking for the Q over. Gets it on FBI and rest of the team. I mean, they land a decent wombo on Kabe, but he's able to flash out, and also he just doesn't take that much damage. Both Bjergsen and Kabe got burned by Rumble ult plus the Jarvan combo, and they should just really be dying in a normal situation. Because Golden Glue is so far behind, they don't have the damage to really kill him. And also, FBI didn't get to land Qs on top of it. That's really the bread and butter combo of Golden Guardians. Jarvan EQ, Rumble ult on top, Cannon ult on top, and Varus finishing the kills with Q. But yeah, they never really got that full combo off, and even when they do, they sort of got it off on the end. It just doesn't really matter because they don't have enough items to do that one-shot kill on Syndra or the Aphelios. TSM getting Elder, Broken Blade zoning the rest of the team by himself, and game's just so over. The items are so far off. Hunter going in on Kabe. Fun fact, Aphelios has the lowest amount of MR for any other champion in the entire game, and he's still able to survive the Cannon ult flash in a normal situation. The Aphelios never survives that, and TSM gonna walk up and finish off this game. Overall, good win from TSM, but I really think they should clean up their mistakes. I hated how bot side played. There were so many times where they just had to stand back, but they walked up and gave up free kills for Golden Guardians, and also that tier 2 mid play. When the coordination is that bad, it worries me. For TSM, they should be looking at teams like Cloud9, Evil Genius, and be thinking these are the teams we're going to be contesting against in playoff for that final. So yeah, mistakes like this is going to be extremely costly, and I hope they can clean it up. I hope their coordination gets better, and I pray to God the bot side actually plays properly when they are on the weaker side of the map. So I hope you guys enjoyed this local recap. I'm very happy to be doing local recaps again. I'm going to try to give you guys 2 a day. I'm going to try to do more of the LCS coverage. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. And one last thing, I'm not crazy, I'm just Loco. Bye!